I am calling you with a deep and earnest love, and I want you to stop in this moment before you continue walking in distraction. My beloved child, do not take lightly the call that is echoing in the hidden depths of your heart. I do not come to make you panic, nor do I come to push you into guilt or despair. I come as a father who has many times placed his hand upon your shoulder in silence, who has many times reminded you to slow down, who has many times used the heaviness in your heart, the confusing dreams, the doors that unexpectedly closed, and the strange silences to draw you away from a path that no longer brings life. If you are hearing this word, it is not because you happen to pass by, but because my mercy is still reaching for you. I have tried to get your attention in many ways you have not yet recognized. Sometimes I speak through the peace that suddenly disappears from your heart. Sometimes I remind you through a feeling of unrest when you are about to step into a decision. Sometimes I use a delay to keep you from something you thought was an opportunity. Sometimes I allow a door to close, not to punish you, but to keep you from entering a room full of darkness, disguised by a bright appearance. There were times when you thought everything was working against you. But my child, not every restraint is a loss. Some restraints are my hand placed before you, saying, do not keep going in that direction. Turn back and listen to me. I do not weep because I am powerless. I grieve because I love. I see you trying to heal yourself with things that only deepen the wound. I see you seeking comfort from people who do not know how to guard your heart. I see you chasing broken things, hoping they can make you whole, while they are draining your peace. I see you so weary that you only want something to soothe the pain immediately, even though deep within you know it is not leading you into the light. My beloved child, I do not blame you for being tired. I do not turn away because your heart has grown weak. But I cannot remain silent when I see that weariness leading you toward choices that may wound you for a long time. There is a place you are drawing near to, and if you do not stop to discern, it may break the peace I am trying to restore within you. That place may not be a specific physical location. It may be a relationship, a habit, a conversation, a financial decision, a way of thinking, an emotional dependence, or an old cycle you keep returning to because it feels familiar. What is familiar is not always safe. There are traps that do not look frightening. They come as comfort, as recognition, as a promise, as a quick escape from loneliness. But I see what lies beneath the surface. I know what is nourishing you, and I know what is quietly draining you. You have been awakened not so that you may live in fear, but so that you may return to the truth. The truth is that you cannot continue ignoring the signs within your heart. The truth is that you cannot keep saying you are fine while something inside you is crying out for help. The truth is that you cannot seek healing in a place that continually wounds you. The truth is that you cannot listen to every voice out there and still expect to have enough stillness to recognize mine. I am inviting you away from the noise, not to isolate you, but so you can hear more clearly. I am inviting you to kneel, not in shame, but in surrender. Surrender does not make you smaller. Surrender places you back where you belong, where I can lift you up with my peace. Do not think you must understand everything by yourself before you can return. You do not need to decode the entire path. You only need to stop ignoring the one who has seen all that you have not yet seen. I know which trap is being set around you. I know which words will pull you into chaos if you answer in anger. I know which door looks favorable but will cause you to lose your purity. I know which person draws you away from the light, even if their words sound gentle. I know which habit is numbing your heart little by little. And I also know how to lead you out, not through chaos, but through very small, very real, and very necessary steps of obedience. You were not created to live in numbness, waking each morning with only enough strength not to collapse. You were not created to live as someone who merely survives day by day, controlled by worry, led by wounds, locked by guilt, and named by the voice of the past. You belong to me. You were created to walk in the light, to know that you are loved, to learn how to rest, to rise after seasons of brokenness, and to live by awareness rather than fear. If you have lived too long in exhaustion, today, I do not come to condemn you. I come to draw you out of that dangerous cycle. Pause the distractions for a moment. Lay down the mask of strength you have worn for too long. Stop calling busyness peace. Stop calling dependence love. Stop calling delay waiting if you are actually avoiding what I have already reminded you about. Let me touch the place you are still trying to hide. Tell me the truth about what makes you tired, what makes you afraid, what you do not dare to release, and what you keep returning to, even though you know it is not good for you. I am not afraid of your truth. I do not leave you when you are honest. It is precisely where you stop pretending that my grace begins to work more deeply. I want you to remember that my protection does not always look like what you expect. Sometimes I protect you by taking away false comfort. Sometimes I protect you by showing you a painful truth about something you once trusted. Sometimes I protect you by causing you to no longer feel peace in a place where you once tried to remain. Sometimes I protect you by interrupting your plans so you do not continue toward a place that will damage you. When that happens, do not resist me with stubbornness. Ask me what I am trying to save you from. Trust that my hand never closes a right door merely to hurt you if I close it. It is because there is something you have not yet seen. Now anchor yourself in me, not later, not when things become easier, not after you have tried every way of your own. Return in this very moment. Tell me that you want to hear more clearly, walk more purely, live more truthfully, and be delivered from the cycles that have worn you down. I will not despise that small confession. I will meet you in your trembling, in your weariness, even in the parts of you that you think no one can understand anymore. I will give you the courage to stop, the wisdom to discern, the tenderness to repent, and the strength to step away from what no longer belongs to the light. My beloved child, this is not the end. This is an invitation to return before the pain grows deeper. This is not punishment. This is mercy, standing between you and what seeks to harm you. This is not the voice of despair. This is the call of a father who still believes you can rise, who still sees worth in you, who is still opening a path of restoration. Remain with me. Let me lead you out of numbness, away from false voices, away from the connections that pull you down, away from the choices that cause you to lose yourself. When you choose to listen, I will turn this moment of awakening into the beginning of healing. awareness, and a new season of peace covered by my unchanging grace. I have warned you in ways quieter than you realized, through the missed call that slowed you down and kept you from something you could not see, through the delay that frustrated you but quietly protected you, through the people who left your life without a clear explanation. You once called it inconvenience, loss, or coincidence. But I want you to look back with different eyes. Not every break is a disaster. Not every delay is punishment. Not every person who leaves is a sign that you have been abandoned. There are things I redirected to save you from a path that, if you had continued walking on it, would have taken more from you than you imagined. The times you were held back, redirected, or forced to stop in discomfort may have been my hand placed between you and what wanted to harm you. But now my whisper is becoming stronger, not because I have lost patience with you, but because what has been clinging to your life is trying to tighten its grip more than before. You have been distracted for too long. You have tolerated small shadows because they gave temporary comfort. You have compromised in places where you knew you needed to be more decisive. You told yourself that things were not serious, that you still had time, that you could come back later. But my beloved child, there are doors that, if left open too long, cause your heart to grow accustomed to an atmosphere that does not belong to me. There are things that begin as one small choice, but later become a cycle, pulling you away from peace. So, I am calling you back now. Before you step deeper into what will become harder to leave later, I do not speak to frighten you. I speak to rescue you. You may not yet see the whirlwind forming, but I see it. You may not yet feel the full weight of the attack, but I know what is moving behind the things you call normal. You may think you are still fine, still in control, still able to stop at any time, but I see the places within you that are tired, weak, and being pulled little by little. I see your sensitivity being dulled. I see your heart slowly becoming accustomed to what once made you uneasy. I see your future and know what will be affected if you do not listen now. This is not a threat. This is mercy speaking before the consequences become heavy. I am shaking certain things because I love you. I allow unstable structures to tremble so you stop building on sand. I allow the places that once gave you pleasure to become empty, not to torment you, but so you may realize they were never able to fill the deepest place within your heart. You have tried to find comfort in things that only made you temporarily forget the pain. You have chased shadows, brief promises, quick pleasures, and then returned to the emptiness inside. But you were not destined to live like that. You were not created to chase things that vanish when the light appears. You were called to walk in the light, in truth, in freedom that does not need to hide. You are chosen. You are called. And that remains true even when you feel you have gone too far. Even when you feel forgotten, you are not rejected. Even when your heart is breaking, I still know your name and still keep you within my sight. I do not turn my face away from you. I am looking directly at you right now with a love that is both tender and grieving. Not because I am hopeless, but because I know what you may lose if you continue covering your ears to my call. I have given you the power to choose. But I never wanted you to use that freedom to walk yourself into darkness. I do not hate you for the times you were wrong. I grieve because I know you were created for more than the cycles that are exhausting you. I am calling you out of the cycles that have kept you trapped for too long, repeated sins, connections that drain you, thoughts that accuse you day and night, habits that make you feel far from me and then shame you so deeply that you do not dare to return. You tried to escape by your own strength, only to find yourself back in the same place. You promised you would change, then grew tired of failing. But I am not calling you back, so you can fix yourself with trembling hands. I am calling you so I may enter fully, so my light may touch the very place you have hidden. And so my love may break the power of what once controlled you in darkness. I want you to be free, truly free, not the false peace the world gives you for a moment and then takes back as soon as circumstances change. Not the temporary calm that comes from avoiding the truth. Not the feeling of relief for a few hours that becomes even heavier when night falls. I want to give you the peace that can silence storms. Quiet your mind when every accusing voice rises, and restore strength where you have become too tired to keep trying. That peace does not come from controlling everything. It comes from surrendering to me. Not a half-hearted surrender. Not giving me only what feels easy, but opening your whole heart so I can heal, reorder, and lead you to walk in the light. I do not require you to be perfect before you return. I ask you to stop pretending you are fine when you know your heart is far away. I ask you to stop waiting for a more convenient time to obey, because delay has already taken too much from you. No more lukewarm living. No more 1 foot in the light and 1 foot in what you know is pulling you down. No more comforting yourself by saying tomorrow you will take it seriously. This is the moment. This is the reminder that many people ignore and later wish they had stopped to hear. This is the moment many pass over. And when consequences arrive, they grieve and say, "If only I had not turned away." Please do not become one of them. My beloved child, you are being warned because you are loved. You are being called because you matter. You are being awakened because your future still carries purpose. And I do not want you to exchange it for things that only bring passing satisfaction. You cannot step into what I have prepared if you keep covering your ears to my voice. You cannot carry old bondages into the new path I am opening. You cannot receive true freedom while still holding on to what quietly imprisons you. So stop. Look directly at the truth. Call what is wrong by its true name. Stop running from me as though I have come to condemn you, when in truth, I have come to save you. You have been running for a long time, and your strength is wearing thin. The things you have used to cover your pain are no longer enough. The reasons you have used to justify yourself no longer bring peace to your heart. That is not a sign that you have been abandoned. It is proof that I am still pursuing you with love. Let me catch up with you. Let me embrace you exactly as you are, without decoration, without hiding, without playing the role of the strong one. Let me carry you through the part of the road you no longer have the strength to walk by yourself. I do not want to crush you with shame. I want to lift you out of that place of shame and set your feet upon a firmer foundation. Return to me right now. You do not need to wait until you feel more worthy. You do not need to fix everything before you come. Come with the truth, with tears if needed, with trembling if needed. But come, I will show you the first step. I will help you close the doors that must be closed. I will give you the strength to leave the things you thought you could never leave. I will renew your heart, restore your clarity, return your peace, and teach you to walk in freedom day by day. This warning is not your final sentence. It is an open door of mercy. Step through it, my beloved child, and you will see that I have never stopped calling you back to true life in me. If you feel as though the enemy is winning in your life, my beloved child, let this word sink deep into your heart. I am still Lord. I am not shaken by the lies trying to cover your mind. I am not disturbed by the times you stumble, the seasons of weakness, or the failures that make you wonder whether you can ever rise again. I am not limited by your past, not stopped by your wrong choices, and not surprised by the wounds you have tried to hide. What makes you tremble does not diminish my power. What makes you think it is too late cannot cancel what I am still able to restore. I am still powerful enough to turn everything around. But you must allow me to enter the places you have held tightly for too long. You cannot pray for deliverance while clinging to your chains as though they are part of who you are. You cannot want the light to pour in while continuing to shield the dark corners I am trying to touch. I have not come to decorate your life with temporary words of comfort. I have come to set you free at the root. This is not merely a beautiful reminder to make you feel better for a moment. This is a spiritual deliverance, a serious yet merciful call. A hand extended to pull you away from what has made you weary for too long. I am speaking to you, not so you may continue living in fear, but so you may recognize that the power of darkness is not greater than my power. The chains around you may be heavy. They may have been there so long that you have begun to think you will have to carry them forever. They may take the form of fear, doubt, shame, old habits, toxic attachments, or words that once made you believe you could not change. But I speak to you. Those chains are not stronger than true surrender. The moment you stop resisting me, the moment you stop making excuses, stop hiding, stop trying to save yourself by your own strength, the moment you lay everything down before me and say, I cannot continue like this anymore, lead me out, that very moment, deliverance begins to move. The darkness may be thick, but it has no right to remain when my light enters. What you need is not to try to appear stronger than the darkness by your own strength. What you need is to stay close to me. Stay close to me when you feel weak. Stay close to me when your mind is under attack. Stay close to me when the lies try to return. Stay close to me when you cannot yet see a way out, but still decide not to let go of my hand. Light is about to break through, not because you are perfect, but because I am faithful, not because you have never fallen, but because I still lift you up, not because the enemy has stopped fighting against you, but because I have declared that you do not belong to that darkness. Therefore, do not call this battle your ending. Do not let the heavy days convince you that the enemy has won. It may make noise, but I have authority. It may sow fear, but I give peace. It may remind you of the past, but I am opening the future. It may try to bind you with old things, but I am calling you into new freedom. Surrender to me fully, my beloved child. Lay down what you no longer have the strength to carry. Let me touch the most painful, darkest, and most exhausted places within you. When you remain near me, the light will not only shine upon you, it will pass through you, break every shadow, loosen every bondage, and lead you into the life I prepared for you long ago. I do not want your fear, I want your faith. Even if that faith is only as small as a weak breath in the long night. My beloved child, I do not demand that you come before me with a perfect heart, without trembling, without doubt, without the marks of the days that have exhausted you. I do not stand above you to measure you by a strength you no longer have enough energy to show. I am simply looking toward you with the eyes of a merciful Father, waiting for you to turn back, waiting for you to open even the smallest crack in your heart so I may enter. Even if you only have enough strength to whisper my name, even if that cry is mixed with tears, even if you do not know what to ask for beyond a very quiet "save me," to me, that is already an invitation. One small spark of trust is enough for heaven to move. One weak step back is enough for my mercy to embrace you. One moment when you choose not to let go is enough for me to begin changing what once seemed impossible to change. I know the attacks you are facing are not imaginary. The heaviness you carry is not something you invented. There are days when you wake up already weary before the day has begun. Times when you smile at others while feeling empty inside. Moments when you want to say you are not okay, but fear that no one would truly understand. I see this. I see the weariness clinging to you like a heavy, wet garment. I see anxiety sitting beside you through long nights. I see the thoughts that make you wonder whether you can keep taking another step. But my child, if the darkness is real, then my light is even more real. If the pain is real, then my healing power is also real. If loneliness can make you feel forgotten, then my presence is even nearer, steadier, and never leaves you. I brought you to this word not to make you feel guilty, but to remind you that I have never given up on you. Even on the days when you wanted to give up on yourself, when you only see failure, I still see the seed of hope within you that has not died. When you only see broken pieces, I still see a beautiful work that I am patiently restoring. When you blame yourself for the times you were weak, for wrong decisions, for the seasons when you lost your way, I do not look at you with contempt. I look at you as a wounded child who needs to be lifted up, bandaged, and reminded that your worth has not disappeared simply because you stumbled. You still belong to me. No mistake has enough power to erase your name from my heart. No darkness is deep enough to hide you from my eyes. No pain is strong enough to sever the love I placed upon you before you knew how to call my name. So do not let what happened convince you that you are no longer worthy of love. Do not let seasons of failure become the final sentence over your life. Do not let the cold words of others become louder than my voice. You are not the sum of the times you fell. You are not the name that fear placed upon you. You are not what others failed to value. You are my child, formed with tenderness, called by love, and preserved by mercy. And though you have walked through roads that bruised your heart, I can still make the place of pain become the place where light begins to pour in. I can still cause the things that seem to have broken you to become the foundation for a rising that is deeper, humbler, and stronger in me. I know there are times when you feel numb, as though every emotion has been drained out, as though you no longer know where you are hurting because everything feels heavy. I know there are days when you feel lost even inside your own familiar room. Evenings when you stare into emptiness and wonder why existing can feel so exhausting. I know the times you cried when no one was near, the times you swallowed tears to keep doing what needed to be done, the times you lay still while your heart battled so many voices trying to pull you down. You may think no one sees, no one hears, no one understands that exhaustion. But I see, I hear, I understand, not with distant observation, but with the love of a father bending very near, placing his hand upon your shoulder and whispering that you do not need to keep forcing yourself to stand alone anymore. My beloved child, I am not shouting from a faraway place to demand that you be strong. I am standing beside you in the dark valley, close enough for you to lean on me if you are willing to release your grip on despair. I do not come to blame you for being tired, nor do I come to ask why you have cried so much. I come to wipe your tears, to hold you when you tremble, and to remind you that there is still a way ahead. Even if your eyes cannot see it today, I am whispering to you with all the tenderness of heaven, do not give up. Do not turn your back on life. Do not let this painful moment convince you that every good thing has ended. Let me fight for you in the battles you are too exhausted to face on your own. Let me stand between you and the voices accusing you. Let me lift your heart from the place where it has lain too long in ashes. You do not need to understand everything right now. You do not need to have a perfect plan for tomorrow. You do not need to pretend you are fine in order to be loved by me. I only ask you to remain with me a little longer. Take one more breath. Take one more step. Believe one more time. When you cannot run, I will teach you to walk. When you cannot walk, I will carry you through the dangerous part of the road. When you cannot pray with words, I still understand the choked sob within you. I will not leave you halfway through restoration. I will not begin a work in you and then leave you to finish it with your exhausted strength. What I am doing may be quiet, but it is not weak. What I am healing may be hidden deep within, but it has not been forgotten. What I am preparing for you may not yet be visible, but it is already covered by my kindness. Therefore, lay your fear down before me, not because you no longer feel afraid, but because you know fear no longer has the right to rule you. Bring me your small faith, even if it is still trembling, even if it is soaked with tears, even if it is only a whisper in the darkness. I will receive that small thing and turn it into a lamp that leads you out of heaviness. I will sow hope again into the dry places within you. I will call peace to return, courage to rise, and pure joy to bloom again like flowers after the rain. You are still mine yesterday, today, and in the days to come. Remain in my arms, my beloved child, because I am not finished with you. I am still writing your story, and the next chapter will not be written with failure, but with mercy, restoration, and love that never leaves.